Hello, and today I'm going to be ranking iOS versions again. This is sort of a redo of what I did back in November, because I've gained so much more knowledge of all of these iOS versions. Now, I'm not going to include iOS 9 or 10. I have used them relatively recently, but not enough to really get experience. Like none of my devices currently have 9 or 10. I do want to get one. I might be able to get one, but I'll say that. Okay, I guess let's start this off. So at last place, it is iOS 1, represented by this HyperTouch first gen. It's just kind of empty, especially on the iPods, on the iPhones, On the iPhone it's not as bad, but yeah. Okay, guess what this is? It's an iPhone 3G on iOS 2. And it's second to last. Main difference is pretty much, you can get quite a few tweaks, Well, I say quite a few, it's quite broken, but you can get tweaks on here at the very least. Next, you have got iOS 7, represented by this iPhone 4. Honestly, iOS 7 is just horrible. Well, I mean, it's horrible in here. It might be better, on like 5S, but it's just the redesign. I just don't really like the redesign. And then after that, it's iOS 8. This is actually on. It's like I need, saying like three of these devices that's on or not. Okay, never mind. And next up is iOS 3. It's like iOS 2 and 1, but even better. You can pretty much get a massive chunk of apps. But do you know what's even better? iOS 4, 4.1, 4.3.5 to be exact. Well, 4.3 and above. App Store, and there's so much better than all of these. Well, this, that, well, no, not that, and that. So those three of those devices, of course. And I mean, we added wallpapers, it added multitasking, added folders, and those are very significant changes that really should have probably been there at the start. Well, folders probably should have been added as soon as the App Store, but let's go. Now, I didn't necessarily say this, but I'm also going to include two versions that aren't legacy, and the first one is this. It's an iPhone 6S to be exact, representing iOS 11. And I just need to put in my passcode. I could show you my passcode. It's just a notification on my lock screen. But iOS 11 on this iPhone 6S Plus. It's honestly so fast on here. It's definitely not as good on the iPhone 6, but I've got a 6S now. The only problem is this is 16 gigs, Touch ID doesn't work, the camera's all shaky and stuff. See? So, and, well, I swear the sound just vibrated. Next one is this. iPhone 5S, which represents iOS 12. It's more of a polished iOS 11, pretty much. No features were really added, but on to the next one, represented by the iPad 1. It's iOS 5. It's pretty much almost the peak of skeuomorphic iOS. You've got all these beautiful, icons and stuff. You've got your notification center, and this was the version that added on the air upgrades, and you didn't need iTunes to set up your device. Quite a big step up, and it introduced iCloud. However, I couldn't care less about iCloud, to be honest. So yeah, and guess what's at number one? It definitely hasn't changed. It's iOS 6, represented by this iPad mini. So this is natively on iOS 6. So what makes iOS 6 so special? Nostalgia? No. Well, yeah, that. It's just so well optimized. It's smooth on basically anything that it can run on. On mobile, like the iPod and iPhone, the music app got redesigned. It looks so much nicer. This design's from iOS 5. I should have pointed that out on the iPad to ask why they changed it at different designs. But yeah, you've got the App Store redesign, which once again I prefer this design over the 2 to 5. It's a bit unfortunate though, because the featured page is broken once it loads. There's no cards as well, but yeah, it's like that. Quite unfortunate, but back in the day, the best thing ever. So this UI is just so much nicer. Yeah, so it's just really fast. It's really nice, and I mean, yes, there are a couple of things that ruins it. Are problems. Mostly the Apple Maps, not because Apple Maps is necessarily bad. I don't really pay attention to it. It's more of the fact that it doesn't work on iOS 6 anymore, unfortunately. So you just get stuck with the black screen, well, great white screen. But it did add the Clocks app to iPad. Don't know why it wasn't added until iOS 6. But I don't even think there's any weather app on the iPad now, or calculator. But on here I do have the iPhone with that. It's ridiculous that it took them until iOS 6 to add it to the iPad, but at least I added it. And I mean, app support, it's not much improved from iOS 5, but for some reason, like a couple of iOS 5 apps, apps that should work with iOS 5 haven't worked on iOS 5 in my experience. Examples include Piano Tiles, GTA, is there any more? I can't think of any more. But yeah. Oh, Hill Climb Racing. Apparently it's an iOS 5 version. I only found that out like a couple of days ago. But yeah. So iOS 6 is pretty much the peak of iOS in general. It's so smooth, so nice. Also on like the iPhones and iPods. God, it's crashing. That's really weird. I was gonna say, oh, there it is. What was it crashed again? The bar at the bottom, it's like a dark grey on like the iPhones and iPods, and I prefer that over the white, to be honest. But yeah, iOS 6 is just the peak of iOS. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can always, thumbs up, but don't forget, I'm uploading videos on these old iOS devices literally every single day for this month. I've been doing it for, only 19 days so far, and I've still got quite a bit left. So if you're interested, you can always subscribe. Don't forget, I'm on PeerTube. If you're on YouTube, of course, then I'm on YouTube. But PeerTube's really nice. I will definitely make a video about it before next month. And yeah, Don't forget I'm on CalcKey, clydegroat.calcly.cloud. By the way, I should have mentioned this, my PeerTube is clydegroat.zone. So make sure if you're interested, you can give me the follow there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Goodbye.